Doug Payne, and I'm honored to be your host for this premiere performance of the Jessamine County Community Band. To officially welcome you to Wilmore, we have a member of the Wilmore City Council. Welcome, Wes Metcalf.
Thanks for coming out today. We just want to say thank you for coming and thank the Jessamine County Community Band for their time, and we hope y'all enjoy the show. Thanks.
This band has been in existence for 5 months. This is their premiere performance. Now we're going to begin our concert today with the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. A little history about that song. On September 14, 1814, the U.S. soldiers at Baltimore's Fort McHenry raised a huge American flag to celebrate a crucial victory over British forces during the War of 1812. The sight of those broad stripes and bright stars inspired Francis Scott Key to write a poem, and it eventually became our national anthem. Now, as a side note, that flag had 15 stripes and 15 stars. And the reason it did was it was commemorating the fact that the state of Kentucky had entered as the 15th. It was the only time in history there was 15 stars and stripes on our American flag. So we have a tie to that song. The Star Spangled Banner was adopted by Congress as the national anthem in 1931. Now, to lead this song, I want to introduce a gentleman. I played the trumpet for this guy in 1973. I'll let y'all figure out how long that's been. We're going to welcome him to lead this song, and his name is Richard Harden. He was instrumental in establishing a standard of excellence in the Jessamine County Band program. Beginning in 1966, he continued in that position until 1976. He went on to serve the Jessamine County School District in many capacities. He was Assistant Director of Pupil Personnel, Wilmore Elementary Principal, Director of Pupil Personnel, Assistant Superintendent of Business and Finance, Assistant Superintendent of Personnel, Human Resources Senior Consultant, and I don't know why you couldn't have done a little bit more. All total, to the Jessamine County School District, 55 years, ladies and gentlemen. Now, he was the band director here in Jessamine County, and he had a guy come along to start helping. His name is Alan Jacobus, and Alan's going to be back with us here in just a moment. And then he had a student in his band named Tim Johnson, who will also be here, and they were directors at our bands as well. We have people in this community band who had Mr. Harden, Mr. Jacobus, and Mr. Johnson in their band careers here in Jessamine County. So in a way, Mr. Harden kind of has a connection to many of the students and adults that you see today, whether you realize it or not. It's a privilege to have Richard Harden with us today. Please welcome him to the podium and join us in singing our national anthem. next song. It's called Flag of Humanity. It's a wonderful march from the pen of a well-known march composer, Henry Fillmore. Now, while best known for his marches, he also wrote hymns, foxtrots, waltzes, novelty tunes, and overtures. This is interesting. In his youth, he mastered many instruments, including the trombone, but he kept his trombone activities as a secret because his religious father believed that the trombone was an uncouth and sinful instrument. He began composing at the age of 18. By the end of his life, he had written over 250 original pieces and over 750 arrangements for band. Listen carefully, you may be able to recognize the trio section of the march, the Flag of Humanity. This next piece is called A Lincoln Celebration. It was written to commemorate the bicentennial of President Lincoln's birthday. He was born on February 12, 1809 in Hodgenville, Kentucky, one of the U.S.'s most beloved presidents. Known for his honesty, his work ethic, and his common sense approach to life, he also enjoyed music. He was the only president to ever have an opera performed at his inaugural celebration. Now, this musical collection includes 3 songs that are identified as being among his favorites. Old Susanna was one of the best-known songs of Stephen Foster, who was a popular American musician of that area. It was a favorite of the entire Lincoln family. President Lincoln frequently visited the slave camps on the way to the summer White House. He was known to sing spirituals with them, one of which was called Nobody Knows the Trouble I See. The president was sometimes observed wiping away tears from his eyes after it was sung. And then Columbia, the gem of the ocean, one of the most popular patriotic songs of the day, and it's frequently performed for the president by the U.S. Marine Corps Band. Leading a Lincoln celebration, Tim Johnson. Well, earlier in our concert, you heard the national anthem, but did you know that we have a national hymn? It's called God of Our Fathers, and it communicates a feeling of patriotism. The hymn's origins can be traced back to 1876, when the United States was celebrating the 100th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Daniel C. Roberts wrote the text for the hymn to be used during a small patriotic celebration in Vermont. When the lyrics were written, a different hymn tune was used, but the hymn gained popularity when George W. Warren wrote his own music for it in 1892. The new music was unmistakable in its ability to invoke feelings of patriotism. And leading the band, the guy that I have between 74 and 77, we all know him as Mr. J. Alan Jacobus. The Jessamine County Community Band now brings you a wonderfully crafted medley of two of America's most beloved patriotic songs, God Bless America and America the Beautiful. Now, God Bless America by Irving Berlin was first published back in 1938. And almost as soon as it began a song, it started bringing revenue in. It became a great moneymaker. Mr. Berlin established the God Bless American Fund to benefit American youth. Many people consider God Bless America as Irving Berlin's love letter to his adopted country. And 85 years later, it still has the power to stir our emotions. In 1893, a lady named Catherine Lee Bates took a train trip to Colorado. And several of the sights on her trip inspired her. They found a way into a poem that she wrote, including the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, the white city with its promise of the future, contained with its gleaming white buildings, the wheat fields of North America's heartland, Kansas, through which her train was riding, and the majestic view of the Great Plains from high atop Pikes Peak. And on the pinnacle of that mountain, the words of that poem came to her mind. And she wrote them down and returned to her hotel room and came up with the song, America the Beautiful. The tune was composed by Samuel Ward in 1882, and it continues to be held in high esteem by a large number of Americans as one of our most cherished patriotic songs. God bless America and America the Beautiful.
Next one.
Gotta turn it on. Next on our program, we want to pay tribute to all of the armed service members and veterans. Now, this concert march will feature medleys of all the songs of the 5 branches of the U.S. Armed Forces: Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Coast Guard. Our American military is a true cross-section of our population. It's their sacrifice that allows us to enjoy a day like this one. And to them, we are eternally grateful. We salute each of the 5 divisions of our military with this medley and their official songs. Now, in this order, you will hear the Marine March, the March of the U.S. Army, the Coast Guard March, the United States Air Force March, and the U.S. Navy March. If you are currently serving or served in any branch that we play, we ask that you please stand so that we can recognize you and thank you for your service. Marches of the Armed Forces. The United States Marines. United States Army. The United States Coast Guard. The United States Air Force. The United States Navy. Well, there was a fella that was born on this date back in 1826. We want to say happy birthday to Stephen Foster. He is often credited as America's first composer and widely regarded as one of the first composers who made professional songwriting profitable. Foster's songs were the most generally American in theme. You heard earlier in the program his most famous song, "Oh Susanna." But if you're a Kentuckian, you know that we have the best song that he ever wrote, right? "My Old Kentucky Home." It was composed in 1852, probably referencing imagery witnessed on his frequent visits to Federal Hill in Bardstown. So as the band plays, please feel free to join in the singing of "My Old Kentucky Home." gentlemen, one of our directors, Tim Johnson.
Thank you for joining us today. We want to invite you, if you play an instrument, you need to be up here. We meet once a week. We have a great time. Don't worry about the fact that you haven't played forever. We got a lot of people over here that haven't played for years and years, got the instrument back out, and we're having a great time. So we want to invite you to join us. We have a Facebook page, Jessamine County Community Band. Contact one of the people up here or myself. We'd be glad to give you some information. Please come and join us. We'd love to have you.
As we close our concert today, we have another national treasure. Now, we have a national anthem, we have a national hymn, but we also have a national march, the Stars and Stripes Forever. We began our concert with a song about the flag, and we're going to end our concert with a song about the flag. Now, John Philip Sousa consistently stated that this march was divinely inspired and was born of homesickness. He said, "Aboard the ship as it steamed out of the harbor on my return from Europe in 1896, came one of the most vivid incidents of my career. As I paced the deck, absorbed in thought, suddenly I began to sense the rhythmic beat of a band playing within my brain. It kept on ceaselessly playing over and over. Throughout the whole tense voyage, that imaginary band continued to unfold the same themes, echoing and re-echoing the most distinct melody. I did not transfer a note of that music to paper while I was on the steamer, but when we reached the shore, I set down the measures that my brain band had been playing for me, and not a note of it has ever changed. The composition is known the world over as Stars and Stripes Forever. It's probably my most popular march." And now, 127 years later, the Stars and Stripes Forever remains one of the most popular marches, not only in the U.S., but all around the world. It was declared our national march of the United States in 1987, the Stars and Stripes Forever. And our conductors, Richard Harden, Tim Johnson, Alan Jacobus. Pretty good for a premier performance, wouldn't you say? Absolutely. We look forward to hearing them again. Happy 4th of July. Thanks for coming to Wilmore.